Joining us now is Oji Okpe with stories trending around the world. Ojinika is here. Good morning.
We always have to make me laugh, right? Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Good morning. I'm good.
Great. Good morning, Tundu.
Morning.
MKO Abiola.
Oh, okay. My full title.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Only for
I like
today.
the chic scarf detail.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Good morning, Rufai. How are you?
Hi, very well. Good morning.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, doing all right.
All right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, First Lady Jill Biden is getting her own comic book titled Female Force, Jill Biden. She now joins the Tidal Waves Comics Female Force series, dedicated to inspirational women. In the United Kingdom, Kate Middleton's family breaks their silence over Meghan Markle's crying claims. Kate's uncle, Gary Goldsmith, says she doesn't have a mean bone in her body and that if anyone had a hissy fit, it must have been Meghan. In Tanzania, a daily newspaper erroneously announced the death of the country's new president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, instead of congratulating her for being sworn in as the 6th president of the country. In Nigeria, as many tweets go viral about the age of the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who just marked his 69th birthday. Editors of Wikipedia have locked his profile page for persistent vandalism after his age was edited 84 times. And despite former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode's public rejection of the COVID-19 vaccine, who last year described it as the evil which would result in millions of deaths, photos and videos of the former minister taking his first jab of the AstraZeneca vaccine have made the rounds. Then, a video of a mob gathered around the convoy of Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu after the Nigerian Super Eagles' victory against Lesotho has made the rounds. Under sports, Cristiano Ronaldo's captain's armband is being auctioned in Serbia to aid a 6-month-old baby requiring life-saving treatment. Finally, under entertainment, Lil Nas X's collaboration with Mischief's controversial shoes containing a drop of human blood continues to trend. The shoes, which sold out in minutes, has been challenged in court by Nike for trademark infringement. Well, let's begin what's trending in Nigeria. Following heavy criticism on social media, the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has recanted on the statement he made about drafting 50 million youth to aid the fight against insecurity. The APC chieftain said his earlier demand for the recruitment of 50 million soldiers was an accidental verbal mistake. While speaking at a colloquium to celebrate his 69th birthday on Monday, the APC leader sought the massive recruitment as a way of addressing Nigeria's high rate of unemployment. While many Nigerians have shared mixed reactions. Rufai, before I take a reaction, I would love your comment on the story.
He says it's a fraudulent sleep. It's a fraudulent sleep. I'm happy that he has come out to say it's a sleep. You know, because when things like this happen, and I wanted to put this caveat out yesterday, they are so quick to say it's us, the media, that caused the problem. Or maybe we heard and miss and all of that. Just like a story that is going on about $1 to $1 campaign promise and all of that. And everybody puts it back to the media. So I'm happy that the world has seen now that it's not the media, it's the man himself that came out to say it's a fraudulent sleep, which everybody can make mistakes. Because we felt the numbers were very ridiculous yesterday. 50 million. In fact, that would be the largest army in the world. So you want to turn most people. How many are we in the country in the first place before you now put 50 million young people into the army? So that means you're turning a sizable population. That means almost everybody in the population will carry gun. But since he's come out to say it's a fraudulent sleep, and he's admitted that it was a sleep, let's take it at that.
All right. Okay, well, I'll take a quick reaction from a user, Esiri Umukoro, who said, even 50K still seems a bit weird. Are they employing to reduce unemployment or for insecurity? If it's the former, I hope they know that the federal government can't employ its way out of unemployment. If it's the latter, is lack of personnel really the reason the Boko Haram war is still on? Dr. Abati.
Well, very quickly, I think, yesterday we were all very concerned when it was reported that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, that Nigeria should recruit 50 million youths. And, we're a bit uncomfortable with that because 50 million young Nigerians would translate into about a quarter of the Nigerian population. And that will have ended up making Nigeria having the largest army in the world. Mm-hmm. The largest army in the world at the moment is that of China, with a capacity of 2.18 soldiers. Now that's followed by India with 1.4. After India, the United States, 1.3 million soldiers, followed by Korea, 1.1 million soldiers. So for Nigeria to add 50 million to a standing army that is not more than about 125,000, even if we're not too sure all the time about the capacity. So that looked a bit absurd. And that was why many Nigerians were concerned. Now, a statement has now been issued to say that it was an accidental verbal mistake. That's what the pressman for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu said. Well, was it really an accidental verbal mistake? There are two types of verbal mistakes, spoonerism and malapropism. Spoonerism, when you mix up the consonants; malapropism, when you use the wrong word. Simply, they should just say it was a slip of the tongue. And I don't agree that it's Freudian, because if it is Freudian, it means that that's what he had originally in his subconscious. So it wasn't an expression of his subconscious feeling. But the correction, I think, is in order. It clarifies the matter. The other leg of it, of course, is that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been under heavy fire, under heavy scrutiny. And I guess, well, this has to do with perhaps his rumored political ambition for 2023. So if he stumbles or if he slips, it becomes a big issue. If he goes to Kano to hold an event, it becomes a big issue. However, the third leg of it is that the point that he made is a major point about unemployment in Nigeria. How do we address the challenge of unemployment?
Correct.
33.3%, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. Over 22.3 million youths out of work. Now, that challenge is not alone for the federal government. And recruiting 50,000 or whatever figure into the Nigerian army is not the only way. Some people will even say it's not the best way to deal with the problem, because he was quoted, and he didn't deny that look, these youths will be given cassava to eat. They will be given corn to eat. And many young people are saying, look, it's cassava and corn you want to give us, instead of giving concrete suggestions about how Nigeria can move forward and reduce the challenge of unemployment. But, well, that's it, in my view.
All right. Tundu, your take on the story?
Well, when I read this clarification, I thought, well, that's more like it. We all know, whatever you think of him, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is no slouch intellectually. Even look at his career profile. He used to work at Mobile, for example, and only the brightest and the best get to work at Mobile. And we also saw his performance as governor of Lagos. So I was quite horrified that such a statement will come from a man of his standing. So I'm actually very relieved that he's corrected that to 50,000, but even still, yes, we must never speak of sort of sending the dregs of society into the military. It is not punitive. The military is honorable. It is an honorable thing to serve your country, and we have to speak of it in that way. Not, because they don't have anything to do, just chuck them over there. It's not the attitude that we need to have. And also, you'll recall last July, 360 Nigerian soldiers quit. They voluntarily resigned. A lot of them were posted to the northeast because they were just completely fed up. The thing about the military is that morale is low, pay is low. They're not remunerated properly. In America, like I was saying yesterday on the show, when there's an economic downturn, the military sees high recruitment. But in Nigeria, that does not happen. Why? Because people are not looking to a career in the military for a high salary, for respect. It's not done here, and it should be addressed. So that, for me, is the point.
I also like the point that he raised at one point about banditry taking over employment, the youth employment, instead of soldiers. I mean, the recruitment for the federal government, I think that they should should really look into that type of recruitment because
Service pay.
yeah,
The
service
service must
pay
be paid, yes.
number one, which is the main issue. Their pay is appalling
It's so
at this
bad.
point. Yes,
And
really.
these are our soldiers. They're
Yeah.
fighting for us. It's wrong.
Correct. Well, we'll take another story. A video showing the chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, Justice Umar Danladi, assaulting an unidentified security guard in Abuja has gone viral. In the video, Justice Umar was seen speaking angrily, scolding and slapping the yet-to-be-identified man. Let's take a quick look at this video before we come back for a discussion.
Oh, God. I'll do this one with me. This man is mad. I'm going to go inside your car.
Rufai, this is quite appalling. I believe there was a statement that was released actually stating that he was the one that was assaulted. I mean,
This is sad.
this is ridiculous.
This is a black day for Nigeria. It's something we should mourn about. And I'll break it down for you. The fact that some people still think they are above other people in this country is the reason why we have the problems we have in this country. The fact that some people are still beneath me is the thinking of some other people, and I don't care about their feelings and emotions, is the reason for all the chaos we have in this country. All the reason behind this was just because this is a poor security man that for whatever might be a university graduate but can't get a job because the system has let him down, and then this man in power kicks him because he says, park here, don't park here. And this is a man that's supposed to be in charge of the Code of Conduct Bureau, misconduct by the Code of Conduct Czar. That's the story of Nigeria and what we have become today. It's a country that presses down the poor and represses the poor. And the shocking thing for me was the reaction. The press statement released, and I heard the word Biafran boys. And I look, what is this country becoming? We keep trying to douse the tension and the embers of secession. But a government parastatal, after somebody did goof, was to write a reaction to it and became sectionist in that reaction by saying the Biafran boys. We can't run a country this way. We keep on putting the country on the keg of gunpowder every time. So why are people like us coming to talk about unity every time when those in authority can't bring people together?
All right.
I think something should be done one step further. The case should be investigated.
Well said. We're going to go on a short break. And when we come back, what's trending on the morning show will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back to the morning show. We're still on What's Trending. Dr. Bati, before we went on a break, we were discussing the assault video of the chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, where he was seen slapping a security guard in Abuja.
Well, first point to be made is that nobody has denied the authenticity of that video. So we take it that, the video itself is authentic. And the person involved in it is the chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, a judge. And we're talking about conduct here. And with due respect, I think that the conduct of Justice Danladi Umar can be described as disgraceful, embarrassing. In fact, he ended up embarrassing himself. There's a code of ethics for judges on and off the bench. And the simple rule is that they have to conduct themselves in a manner that is dignified. They are expected to be above board in every respect, like Caesar's wife. For a judge to engage in a situation that almost generated into what is called in common parlance, two fighting, I think is, disgraceful. However, I think it's also a good development that the security guard involved in this, who was doing his work, has asked his lawyer to pursue the matter, to sue, the chairman of the CCT. And the man, one Samuel, Okenakia Samuel, has said that they will pursue the matter to ensure that justice will be done. Can you imagine the chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal being accused of, assault and that kind of conduct in the open? Number 3 point to be made about this is that, look, yes, maybe this happens often with people in high places, oppressing younger people. But I think there is a lesson there that we must take away, which is the power of the social media. Anything you do in public, you never know. Somebody somewhere will just take his phone and begin to record you, and then it becomes such a big scandal. If this had happened when there was no social media, when there was no, what is this thing we all carry about, smartphones, you probably will get away with it, but not anymore. Now, finally, the point needs to be made about the statement issued by the head of press and public relations of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, Ibrahim Al-Hassan. I've never seen anything so badly written like that. And I speak as a man who spent some years teaching people. I mean, what kind of writing is that? Right? I mean, the guy could not spell the word root. He wrote root. He could not spell clips. He wrote cliff. I mean, the grammatical infelicities contained in that press statement, is disgraceful. It's even more disgraceful than the incident that was reported. And I think that if the CCT still wants to retain his services as head of press and public relations, he will need to be sent for some training. Because I sat down and tried to mark that press statement.
I wish you sent it to me. I would have put it on there.
That for me is just as annoying as that incident.
I knew Dr. Abati was going to mark that statement.
I wish you sent me that statement. I could put it on.
It was shocking, wasn't it?
It was. I couldn't read through the first.
I didn't understand what he was talking about. I was actually naively expecting an apology because we all saw that assault in broad daylight.
No, he said he was
struck that man.
Yeah.
So it's completely wrong. All that needed to happen there was an apology. We cannot, everybody must have their frustrations here and there, but they should be channeled, properly. You don't take things out on another human being in this fashion. Now, what I would suggest is that a report is made, a petition to the NJC, the National Judicial Council, to discipline this judge as is amongst their duties, because something has to be done about this kind of conduct. That phrase, like you were saying about the conduct of judges, the phrase sober as a judge also alludes to that. There's a way judges are expected to behave. This is actually very offensive, what he has done.
Yes.
But unfortunately, I do have to say, you'll recall the incident of the slapping senator, won't you? That was also caught on camera. And what really happened there?
Yeah.
Yes, an example needs to be made of one of these
But
people.
there's another report about that particular senator. About him
engaging
in another
An
incident.
example has to be made. You cannot strike people in the face. You cannot assault people.
Well, I hope something is done about this one, like you said, Tundu. We'll take our final story in India. Following the death of a 43-year-old Nigerian man, Leonard Linyani, which sparked a violent protest in West Delhi over the weekend, a new video has surfaced online showing Nigerian men crying out in pain as they were brutally beaten by Indian soldiers and civilians. This video I'm about to show you is a bit graphic. A viewer discretion is advised. Let's take a look. Rufai, this is unbelievable. I mean, the Twitter user who posted this video said the man in that video that was shirtless was his relative. I mean, it's completely appalling to see.
Please, the Indians should stop this now. They should stop this. It shouldn't get out of hand. There's a lot of sentiment and tension already. The Indians should stop this.
All right, Rufai.
Our authorities should contact the Indian government and this should be stopped.
Okay. Dr. Abati.
Well, I mean, this should be seen in the context of racism in India, which is a very major problem. And members of the African India Solidarity Forum, many of whom are Africans, have had cause at various fora to complain about the kind of indignity that Africans living in India are subjected to. Some of the complaints in the past, we had a gentleman from India who appeared on this program when Indians and Africans were being discriminated against at the peak of the COVID-19. Landlords will not give them accommodation. People will not talk to them. One gentleman who says he understands Hindi said they refer to them as banda, and that in Hindi, banda means monkey. So there's this systemic, discrimination against Africans in India. Now, the case you reported yesterday, which was the story was published by the Times of India,
yes,
about a certain Nigerian who was going to the airport, after attending a party, and then he was arrested. They found money on him, and the story says they wanted to collect his money, and then he resisted. Then he was beaten. That long iron bamboo stick that you saw, they call it lathi.
Lathi, yes. So it was lathi charge.
He was beaten, and then it was alleged that he died.
Yes.
Now, the police in India, they deny it. They say it's not true. But the Nigerians there who started protesting, they started saying Black Lives Matter, and that there was video evidence. However, the authorities in India have said that this will be investigated. We hope that that will be investigated. And we hope that the Nigerian mission in India will take this up immediately and protest. And that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Nigeria will summon the India High Commissioner to Nigeria to come and explain why Nigerians have become special targets for racist attacks and assault and brutality by the police in India. And hopefully also that the Nigeria Diaspora Commission will speak up. I've not heard any statement for the Nigeria Diaspora
because it's
Commission.
but this is more than 3 days now.
To address.
It is
correct.
a major issue. Police brutality of this sort is completely sickening. I agree with everything you said. I don't need to repeat it. However, I will say that there'll be some of us who always have wanderlust. Nigerians are sophisticated people, want to live abroad. But I wonder how many Nigerians in the diaspora would actually prefer to live at home if only conditions were that much better. So our leadership needs to make Nigeria the best place for Nigerians.
Yes.
This is really upsetting.
Very upsetting. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trendy. I'm
thank
sorry.
you very much,
But I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yes,
Thank you.
certainly.